Hey everybody, Bigfoot Videos here. So I was going to go over my pumpkin patch. I don't think I've even made any videos about this. So basically what I've done is I have thrown a tarp down over the grass, and I did that probably roughly 4 weeks ago, and let the grass start dying off. Before I did that, I actually pre-dug 5 to 6 inch deep holes, and I dug about 100 of them, but I ended up only using about maybe a quarter of that. So don't do that. That was a lot of work. So I just didn't do the math for the number of seeds I had in the package for all of the pumpkin seeds. So versus how many you plant in each pot. So, but basically what I did was I potted them in some little 4-inch pots and grew them in my little makeshift wooden work area while I was doing this over here, getting it ready. And then once those sprouted their seed leaves, and then the next sprouting of leaves were the true pumpkin leaves, and then I started transplanting them over here. And so basically this is 5 or 6 different types of pumpkins, and I've spread them per the spacing on the package roughly. I'm probably going to end up trellising most of these just because I think that's cool. Because on these big, let's see here, on these big pumpkins, like this is a Connecticut field pumpkin that can get up to 12 pounds, I believe. You can see, let's see if I can see this here. You can already see the little curly cues here that will attach to the trellis wire and grow up stuff and grab onto it. And then you're starting to see little buds that the pumpkin flowers will sprout from. I believe that's one there. Some of these little buds will actually turn into like more leaves, which you can see right here. But I'll probably start trellising these and researching different ways to do that. And then once the fruit of the pumpkin fruit starts to grow, I will probably add a separate T-post or some kind of a garden post to hold the weight of the pumpkin by making a little sling or a little pumpkin hammock, because I think that'd be cool. But that way the vine won't be able to handle that kind of weight. So I'll need to make the little hammock for it. But that's a Connecticut. This is actually a Casper. It has not started producing any. Well, I see one right here. Oh, and there's another one. So it's starting to produce the little curly Q grabber arms. And then the Jack B. Littles, I believe, yeah, this one hasn't started producing either. Any curly Qs or grabber arms, whatever they're called. And then the Mini Harvest hasn't either, but they sprouted late. They germinated later than the other ones. I planted them all at the same time. And then this is another Casper, little white pumpkin. Those can get pretty big. This one I believe is a jack-o'-lantern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I had 5 of those. So this will be a jack-o'-lantern pumpkin. And there's a curly Q starting right there. So I can start trellising these, and then once they start producing fruit, I can add in a support post and then right next to the fruit, and then start making little hammocks for them all. But yeah, we have Caspers, Connecticut, jack-o'-lanterns, Jack B. Littles, Mini Harvest, and one of my Big Macs out of all 12 of those seeds. I think one, maybe 2 or 3 out of this bunch, which I'll end up thinning this one out. But I got one good size plant out of that whole package. I don't know why. So this was my other one, and it had something and grew, and then it stopped. So anyway, I'll post another video, but that's kind of how I did mine. Is I put the tarp down, and then I punched holes in the tarp where I had pre-done the holes according to my spacing that I needed. And I tried to put my smaller pumpkins, because those will be on just probably a standard trellis. It won't need any hammocks or any slings or anything like that. And so I put those in the middle, so I won't really need to walk like through those. I can access them from both sides of where the big pumpkins are. But I got to think about it a little bit more. I'll post a video on that. So if you have any questions about anything, I will do my best to answer them or point you in the right direction. But if you like stuff like this, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.